Hey guys, thank you for joining into my show and welcome. My name is Amber, for those who may not know. I'm making this video in regards, of course, to surrogacy, which I had actually decided to become a surrogate a few months ago, which I started the process, and I'm still going through the process, which has been very exciting for me. So basically, I'm just here to talk to you about the process and, of course, the requirements and becoming a surrogate, just in case anyone out there decides they may want to become a surrogate or is on the journey to becoming one. So let's go ahead and get started. Basically, when it comes to surrogacy, I know a lot of people have their opinions, they're skeptical, they have doubts, they find it weird because we all know that it's not the most natural way of having a baby. But hopefully this video will shed a little bit more light on the positive side of being a surrogate. So let's just get started. I'm happy to be able to share my knowledge from what I've learned, and I'm still learning. So this is actually my first time, so I'm ready. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the process. So I just want to let you know ahead of time, the process is lengthy. Keep in mind, like I said, I started the process a few months ago and I'm still going through the process. I'm almost to the finish line, but hopefully whoever decides to be a surrogate, that they understand it's not a quick process. It's a lengthy process, and you just have to have patience. Okay? So basically how the process goes is you got to do your research. There's two ways of going about being a surrogate. You can either work with an agency, which I actually decided and preferred to do because this is my first time becoming a surrogate. So I feel more comfortable working with an agency and people who pretty much know what they're doing, who's been in working and working in the surrogacy world for a while. So like I said, it's just my preference. Everybody has their own preferences, which is okay and it's cool and it's quite all right. So basically how my experience went is I was actually on Facebook going down my timeline. I found some surrogacy agencies, and the one that I'm working with now actually caught my eye. So I went on their website, did my research, read about them. Of course, to ask questions, which is always important, which you'll hear me say throughout the video. It's very important to ask questions, especially if you decide to become a surrogate. It's very important to ask. So remember, ask questions. After that, I filled out a form. Next day, they emailed me, letting me know that I was basically approved to start the process of the journey with them, which made me very excited. So after that, of course, the next step is medical records. Basically, what happens is they ask for your medical records because they need to know and make sure, ladies, that you've had a healthy pregnancy or healthy pregnancies. There was no complication, no abnormalities, nothing like that. So they just want to make sure everything is okay. And then basically after that, once the coordinator and agency takes a look at your medical records and they feel that you're a good fit, they will contact you and also let you know. At least that's what happened with me. Just keep in mind, all agencies are different, so just understand that as I go through the video. So after they get your medical records, you're cleared. The next process you will go into is your psych evaluation. Now, please understand the psych evaluation is long, okay? But that's also one of the biggest parts too. One of the biggest parts in the process, because that will determine if you are also fit to become a surrogate. So just, again, most important thing, be honest, straightforward, even if you feel uncomfortable, which you may feel uncomfortable with the questions, or you may feel uncertain. Just be honest. I just can't stress that enough. Just be honest. because there's no shortcuts, and if you decide you want to be untrue about it, it's not going to help you at all. So just please be honest, and just if you have questions, ask the coordinator, because that's actually who you'll be doing the psych evaluation with. You'll be talking to the agency's coordinator. They'll be asking you questions basically about your family history, about you, about the kind of support you have, because you're going to need support in this process. A lot of support, as much support as you can get. So it's important for you to, open up and be honest about everything. Okay, they're not here to judge you or make you feel like guilty or a bad person, I promise. They're also going to have you do a questionnaire. Now, I will be honest, the questionnaire is long, okay? But it's long for a good reason. So it could range from 100 questions to 200 questions to 300 questions. It just depends on the agency. But the questionnaire is mandatory, and it's mandatory because they want to make sure that you are capable mentally and emotionally to handle being a surrogate, and to basically understand that being a surrogate means you're carrying a baby for somebody else, that the baby is not yours. So when the baby's born, the baby babies will go to their parents, their intended parents, their IPs. So they just want to make sure that you can handle that, so that's pretty much the psych part of the process. So just please don't feel intimidated or anything like that. Everything will be cool as long as you're honest. If you feel uncertain or feel uncomfortable, let the coordinator know, let the agency know. That's the most important thing. After that, once you've been cleared and they feel like you've been a good fit, then you'll move on to the next process. Now, please keep in mind, all agencies are different. They have their own ways of doing their process, so it may not go in the order that I'm saying. Me explaining the process is just also a mixture of what my process was like. So again, keep in mind, all agencies are different. So after your psych evaluation, one of two things can happen. You can either do your medical screening first, or you can be matched. In my case, I ended up getting matched first. Now, how you get matched is, what happens is the agency will create a profile for you. And what they do with that profile is, when they find somebody, when they find IP or IM or IF, meaning intended parents, intended mothers, intended father for you, or they feel like would be a good fit for you, they will send your profile to them. So that way they can take a look and kind of get to know you a little bit, read your story, read why you want to become a surrogate, things like that. But don't worry. If you're wondering, will you ever get to know or know who you're matched with, you actually will, because the agency will also send you a profile of the IPs, the IM or the IF that they matched you with. So that way you can know who you're being matched with. You'll be able to read their story as to why they need a surrogate and so forth like that. Keep in mind, you are not obligated to be a surrogate to the first match that you see. The important thing is to have some type of connection, between you and the match. And you'll know if they're a right match for you or not, and vice versa. So basically, once you read over their profile and they read over yours, if you feel like they're a good match for you and you want to move forward with them, you'll let your coordinator know. And of course, same with the IPs or the IMI or the IF. They'll also get in contact with the agency and let them know. For me, I automatically connected with the match that I had, the IPs that I was matched with. They're amazing. We immediately connected like that. So I'm excited to start this journey with them. So basically after that, what will happen is they'll set up a meeting between you and the match. Keep in mind, again, it just depends. If they're international, then it could be a video chat. If they're closer in, then it could just be a face-to-face meeting between you and the match. So again, it just depends. So after you guys do it, and the whole purpose of the meeting, whether it's video chat or if it's face-to-face, it's just like an icebreaker, because you're going to want to know more about your match and who you could possibly be a surrogate for, and vice versa. They're going to want to know who might be a surrogate for them. So basically, it's your time to just basically ask questions, just get to know each other a little more. So, and it pretty much cuts away the nerves or any type of weird feelings you may have, So that's pretty much the whole point of the meeting. And again, if you feel a connection, they feel a connection, then you guys will, of course, let the agency know, and then you'll go ahead and move forward. Now, after that, or it could be before that, again, agencies are different. You'll move on to your medical evaluation. Now, the medical evaluation, of course, is to make sure, again, that you're okay and you're healthy. Basically, the medical evaluation contains getting blood work done and getting an ultrasound done, and also includes doing a mock transfer. Basically, the blood work is just to make sure you're clean and you're healthy. So that's basically what the blood work is. The ultrasound, ladies, is basically just to make sure and to check and make sure that your uterus is good and is okay, and there's no abnormalities about it, and there's nothing out of the ordinary, that it's pretty much okay. I actually did my medical screening yesterday. Everything went very well, so I'm so excited. So moving on to the next step. Again, as you hear me talking, you can tell and see that being a surrogate, it takes a lot of patience because it is a lengthy process. It's not a speedy process. Okay, so you just gotta be patient and everything will work out how it's supposed to. So basically, the mock transfer. Basically, what a mock transfer is basically like a simulation to what the real one would be. So basically, what they do is they just use the ultrasound and to check your uterus, and using saline, basically it helps them to see your uterus more clearly, to make sure, again, everything is okay and you're healthy and all that good stuff. So once you're done with that and the results come in good, everything is a-okay. After that process, then you'll move on to the legal side, basically, which is contracts. Now, the contracts is just basically to make sure that everyone's on the same page and everyone's protected, and so forth. So just don't worry, you're going to be okay. After you do the contracts, then you will move on to the most amazing part of the whole process, which is transfer day. Basically, transfer day is basically where they transfer the embryo inside of you, and I'm sure it's not even a long process. I'm not there yet, but I can't wait to get there. So that's basically what it is. It's a quick in and out process. Depending on the agency, they want you to rest up, of course. Take it easy if the 2 days or a day after transfer. But other than that, that's just basically what it is. That's the process of it. Of course, you'll be monitored. Make sure you have an OBGYN, because after they release you, after they're done monitoring you and stuff, they will release you to your OBGYN. Okay. Also, there's something I wanted to say as in regards to the process. Because surrogacy is a huge decision, life-changing decision, make sure, again, you do your research, ask questions, call the agency if you're not sure of something. That's very important, because you want to make sure that it's something that you want to do. Think about it, think it over, don't rush it, pray on it, do anything you have to do. Just make sure being a surrogate is something that you want to do. Okay. And if you are in a relationship or married, that's something you want to make sure you discuss with your partner and make sure you're all on one accord, because again, going through this process, it can maybe possibly take a toll on you. So you're going to need all the support you can get throughout the whole journey. And also, because you're actually having a baby or carrying a baby for somebody else, it could be a little touchy situation. So, not everyone's going to be okay with it or on board with it. So, make sure you just discuss it with your significant other if you are with somebody, because you guys have to make sure you both agreed to do this and you guys are both all in, because last thing you want to do is waste your time or the agency's time or the IP's time. You just don't want to do something that's not something you want to do. Of course, if you're a single parent, then it's much easier. You're able to make the decisions on your own. You don't have to talk to anyone, but still, I suggest you to just think about it, before signing up for it. Make sure it's something that you're 100%, 1000% that you want to do. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and, I forgot. Also, it's the reason why you want to make sure your partner's on board, because taking it back to their medical screening, they will also have to get blood work done, only blood work done, just to make sure, because you guys are together. They want to make sure you're safe, he's safe, everybody's okay. So that's another reason why you want to make sure everybody's on the same train, in other words. So that's actually pretty much the process. So now we'll go ahead and talk about the requirements. So I'm just going to be honest, not everybody can be a surrogate. Like I said, it is a huge process. Basically, the requirements are you must be 21 years old. And I believe the cutoff age is 42. Don't quote me on that. Just, again, research it and find out. But I'll also put up the requirements on my page too, somewhere in the corner. So look out for that. But of course, you got to be 21 years old. You have to be stable financially. So yes, you still have to work. Even though you do get compensated for surrogacy, it's not a permanent thing. It's only throughout the journey. So yes, you have to make sure and you're financially stable. Besides being financially stable, of course, you want to make sure you have that support, which is something that they'll also ask you in your psych evaluation, because it's important to have that support. You don't want to go through the journey alone, so just make sure you have that support too. Of course, no drinking, no smoking. Unfortunately, you cannot also be on assistance, because you will again be compensated for being a surrogate. So that could kind of eliminate your assistance if you're on it. So you won't be able to be on assistance if you're trying to be a surrogate. You have to at least have one successful pregnancy. Of course, if you've had C-sections, I believe you have to have 3 successful C-sections, no more than 3. or I should say no more than 3 C-sections. I believe that's the limit. Again, do your research, talk to agencies, but I believe that's what it is, yes. Pretty much other than that, of course, you have to be able to, your child that you've had, gave birth to, has to be in your household, okay? So that's just one of the other requirements. Sorry, because my son is playing. He should be in bed. But that's actually just those are just some of the requirements. Again, I'll post up some pictures of more requirements for you to take a look at, just so you have an idea of what you need to do or need to have in order to become a surrogate. So again, I'm very excited. I'm very happy that I made this choice. And again, I'm going to continue to vlog my journey as a surrogate. So I'm very excited to continue this journey. So if you have any questions, please leave your questions at the bottom of the screen. I hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, please give a thumbs up. I'll definitely be doing a Q&A in my next video. So I thank you everyone for tuning in. I appreciate it. You guys have a blessed night and be safe, and you guys take care. Oh, make sure you subscribe. All right, you guys take care. You have a good one. Bye.